Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening. This is episode 21 of Was It Something We Said? Um, I'm your co-host, El Jefe, and I'm accompanied by my best bud, the Pope. Good evening, welcome.
Good evening. Welcome.
I'm for trying out for the first time, working off my tablet, a remote location. I'm currently on business travel in the great city of Hammond, Indiana. So everything is working good so far, and this is cool. So let's look at what we're talking about tonight, my brother. We're going to talk about our what's in the news. I posed the question with this Charlie Kirk situation, the recent cancel culture that's running rampant across the country. Um, based on people's comments, both verbally and in social media. It's causing some reaction. So we'll talk about that from a sports standpoint. We'll talk about the Tigers, where they stand with, I think it's 11 games to play. They're currently losing to Cleveland. We'll talk about the college games worth watching this week. Not a lot, but we got a couple we could talk about. We'll talk about the Lions' upcoming Monday night game against the Ravens in Baltimore. And then we'll walk through our week 3 NFL picks. Topic of interest, the Utah shooter. Are you believing what you're seeing, what you're reading? The way I posed it was, is it pretty straightforward or pretty complicated? Depending on what you're hearing. So basically, is it part of a larger agenda? That situation. And then you're going to bring us home with the jam of the week and the We Said message. So that sound good to you?
Sounds good to me.
All right, so let's talk about this news at the top of our program. Charlie Kirk, the conservative mouthpiece, was taken out at Utah Valley College. An arrest was made of a suspect. But since the assassination, people have been speaking their minds. People have been writing their thoughts out and posting them on multiple social media platforms. Some of those people have been getting fired, reprimanded, um, which gets into the question of, what does free speech really mean these days? Um, Yesterday, I saw, over the weekend, it was yesterday. It was yesterday. Watching Charlie Langton interview a local attorney back in Detroit. I think his last name is Marco or Markham. And he basically said, at least in the state of Michigan, employers could fire you if you post something that what they feel is doesn't follow company values or brings negative attention to them. They could fire you. You can't do nothing about it in the state of Michigan. So what's your thoughts as far as what you're seeing, and do you think twice before hitting that post button or that send button, or what's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that is you need to think twice before you hit the button. um, right, wrong, indifferent. When you hired by a private company or companies there too, they got rules and stuff to which they can fire you if they feel it's something not becoming to the company. Most
Yeah.
employment is employment at will, means they can fire you when they want to and you quit when you want to. So the rules governing that, freedom of speech don't help you with that. First of all, sad that he was killed, assassinated, however you want to put it, from him going around and doing his talks and whatever that too. Even though if you deem them as hate talks in there too, but that's all part of freedom of speech. Is people got the freedom to say what they want to say. You got the freedom to say what you want to say. I mean,
Yep.
Constitution says you can't yell fire in a crowded theater, was one of the examples against not being able to have freedom of speech. But, it is one of the basics of what's going on um, in the Constitution. Another thing is why now, with all the people who've been assassinated and shot before, never was, you know,
Never.
this point of view taken of
Nope.
you can't say this and you turn somebody in if they're saying something bad about this and that too. People, most people I know are talking about what he was preaching, what he was teaching about, whether they liked it or didn't like it, not the fact that he got assassinated and that, hey, he was this bad person and yeah, he should have got assassinated. That's not for any of us to judge,
Right.
to take a
Right.
life on that because you don't like his views. I mean, it's a lot of things that didn't like that wasn't right that people were all on. Slavery for one. Hey, that used to be legal. No, we felt it was wrong, but they didn't, and it was part of the deal until it wasn't. And there's other examples of things too that happens that way, But again, civil rights leaders who got killed for them use freedom of speech and what they were trying to do. Nobody has come out and say, "Well, you shouldn't say this about them, you shouldn't say that about them," in there too. So right now we live in a different time and social media is polarizing because you can sit at
Yeah.
the comfort of your home, type everything that you want to, spew it out there to who knows, thousands, millions of people, and you ain't got to stand behind what you say.
But with that being said, you know, so I'm hearing that Jimmy Kimmel's show has been put on the back burner because of his comments on the Kirk assassination and Trump's reaction to it. So I guess the ABC honcho said, "You got to chill out for a minute. We gotta talk about this." So he's going to be canceled. That's what I think is going to happen there. But then you look at on Fox News, the Brian Kilmeade comments of homeless people. He said they should just be euthanized or taken out, and he's still working today. So
Oh, well,
it's definitely not a
want to stay agenda. And like you say, yeah, they don't want them talking about it, ABC, aka Disney.
yeah.
So no, we want to put this on hold from there in your comments because now your comments are not our comments. And if we don't like what you're saying, we gonna put you on chill.
Yep. So he's on chill. So usually when you put on chill, you can ask Stephen Colbert about that. Congratulations on his recent, I think it's an Emmy he won, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
got no offer.
Yeah, he
What
had
the-
a resume out there too, didn't he? I got an Emmy. Give me
I got
a job.
that right. He got no desk to put it on, but he got an Emmy. But I think we're going to see more and more of this, unfortunately, and it's just going to be interesting to see again when you get the Marjorie Taylor Greens of the world that's spouting off, will there be any repercussions or anybody on the conservative talk shows or news shows, will they be as quickly to have their shows put on a back burner or not? And I think we both know the answer to that.
Yeah, because again, it states that you can, peacefully assemble and petition the government, first what so many people they call it Bill of Rights to prevent interference from people's beliefs and stuff. But again, all these things got a caveat is whoever interprets and limitations by the courts applying, both federal and state government. So again,
Yeah,
if they deem that, hey, we feel that this is something that's going to be disruptive and that stuff there too, they can do it and not that it is, but if they perceive it that way, and we're in a culture now, win at all costs, it don't matter what the next man think. We get control. This is what we gonna do. Yeah, they gonna be canceling more people or putting them on ice.
Yeah, Kristen told me down at Texas, in her position, she's got to draft a letter, and she's saying that she's had to bite her tongue, which is the right thing to do. They've suspended over 100 educators down in the state of Texas just because of comments they made, and you could go by the color of the map of the states. That's where you're going to find this, this retaliation or this overreaction, I'd call it. Um, but in Michigan, again, it's a good segment. If anybody gets a chance to see it, it's in the local Fox 2, Charlie Langton interviewing a local attorney, and the attorney was very informative. Made it pretty clear. And Charlie gave several scenarios of what if I did this, you're fired. there was there was no gray area. You're
No,
gone.
because they have chose to make him a martyr
Yeah.
again, and all this flack, and then you don't say this here, but again, what about the kids that just got killed when they just praying? You don't see this kind of stuff here too. Now they talking about, well, I'm gonna write this law for this, not to do this and that too. Now you want to do something,
Yep.
and when all these other things is going on, you don't do nothing. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. Yeah, it's true.
Yep.
But again, you're still not doing anything to try to deter her to do anything. But now with this, now all of a sudden, oh, you can't say this, or you shouldn't say that, or you don't say this, or you don't say that.
Yep.
No, because he was pushing their agenda.
And just keep in mind, the same day of the assassination, there was a school shooting, I think in Colorado, and that's been long forgotten.
Exactly. Ain't heard nothing about it.
Nope.
And again, definitely wrongly killed for him going around talking, and that was his kind of viewpoint on things, because he had a wide viewpoint about a lot of things that
Yeah.
he didn't like. And I ain't gonna say all of them were, bad. I mean, all of them. I won't say I don't disagree with all of them. I just put it that way. But again, no,
Hmm.
no, you shouldn't. You should not be. That's what we say. But the world that we live in, yeah, what you say can get you killed.
Yes, it will. So the black leaders out there, the black voices, make sure you got your security team in place, but nothing. Just be careful. That's for anybody.
Yeah, yeah.
The Louis Farrakhan's, they all
Oh
Sharptons.
well, they careful because you ain't heard them say nothing.
They got a word. They got a word. All right. Well, let's switch over to our sports topic now. I haven't seen the final yet, but the last check, Cleveland was kicking the Tigers' ass 2-0 in the eighth. This will be two straight losses, and it will knock down their lead in the Central to 4.5 games, with I think 10 games now remaining. So hopefully, Scuba could get a salvage just one game out of this series, and then not get swept.
Yeah, hopefully, because before tonight, the magic number was 7.
Yeah, and I think it's still going to be 7. Yeah, you're depending on one person to right the ship every four starts, and that doesn't bode well. I mean,
No,
I watched the game at dinner, and they had runners in the first inning and couldn't do shit about it. And a couple other innings, they had people just can't get a hit. Um, so either you get excellent pitching, you can't get a hit, or you get a hit and then you got arsonists on the mound pitching. So it's gonna be an anxious 10 games to go.
yeah, especially because it don't get any easier. Then they got they play somebody, and then they got the Guardians. They play the Braves, and then they come back and
Yeah,
play the Guardians again
in Cleveland, in
in
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
top of the
Cleveland,
ninth is still 2-0.
yep. Well, yep, yep. I think that game's done. Um, What about we got some college games. It's a light schedule this week, but it's a couple games out there. Let's talk about Michigan State. We got to start with the home teams.
All right.
Michigan is on the road at Nebraska, and Michigan State is making a trip out west to USC for an 11 o'clock Eastern kickoff. Uh, what's your thoughts on those games?
State, let's see what State does. I mean, State done, they done won. What's they 3-0. So they halfway to bowl eligibility. So, let's kind of see how they compete out at USC going out there. And I think Trojans is what, 25th ranked or whatever.
Yeah, they're ranked.
So it'll be against a ranked Big Ten opponent.
Well, for entertainment purposes only, Spartans are getting 18.5 points. I'll leave it there.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Michigan, Nebraska. Again, let's see how they look away from the big house. Rayola's boy, and they put some pressure on him.
Yeah, he didn't show me much. Between him and Arch Manning, all the hype, they ain't lived up to it. But Michigan is favored in that game, believe it or not, on the road. They're favored by 2.5 points for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, they ranked 21, and after they just post Central, fire up chips, they just put it on them.
That's why those cupcake games, man.
Yeah.
You gotta do that.
Oh man, yeah.
They had this
I hope
great.
it's worth your money. Go man, 63-3. Yeah.
Well, shit. Well, who last week? One of those cupcake teams got paid and beat somebody. I gotta remember who it was. So not only did you give them $1 million, they walked with a win. I gotta remember who that was. Damn, it slips my mind. But that was the comment that was made. You pay somebody $1 million, come in and whip your ass.
Yeah, that ain't good. Pay to get your ass whooped. Another Big Ten game I'll keep eye on is Illinois, Indiana.
Yeah, that's a big one.
2 ranked teams in there. The other ranked games, 2 ranked opponents is Auburn, Oklahoma, and I don't know, they pumping up this Texas Tech, Utah. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm interested in 2 games. Florida is at Miami. I think that Florida coach is
he about done. He about done. They about to run him out of Florida.
Oh yeah, and the other game is Syracuse at Clemson. We was talking about it in our pre-show. Dabo Sweeney, the head coach, basically telling the local press there, anybody want to listen, hey, if you don't like all the titles I've bought you, this program, and the success we've had, he could walk me out the door right now. What Dabo didn't say was that when you walk him out that door, he's got $60 million coming with him for his buyout. So
yeah, but Dabo, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah,
Dabo is gone soon.
Yeah,
if Dabo ain't adopted to the portal, Dabo ain't with the NIL. Nope. Dabo, he's gonna be left behind because that's just the way, and it's showing that he's kind of left behind. Here, they started out as high as what, 4th preseason rank when it started on
top 5. Klubnik was the quarterback. Was a preseason favorite, one of the preseason favorites, depending on which outlet you listen to, for the Heisman. That stopped quick. Same thing for your boy Arch Manning. Peyton Manning said he was adopted. Peyton said we knew he was adopted. He's not a real Manning.
Instead of helping the boy out, you want to talk about he was adopted.
Peyton said he was adopted. They were talking about it on the. He lied.
Peyton.
I love Peyton Man. He's funny as hell now. But Arch Man is getting booed in Texas.
Yeah, well, he ain't
They got a
performed.
got a cupcake. They got a cupcake game this week. They're almost 40-point favorites, and they better cover that point spread just to
Yeah,
give him some confidence. Yeah, because his confidence is broken right now, getting booed at home.
yeah, that's bad. But I'm gonna digress to. Did you watch any of that Tennessee Georgia game?
Georgia, just bits and pieces of it.
I thought Tennessee blew that game.
Yeah, I mean, shit, they were. I think they were getting 4 points at home. Allegedly, I took the points, so they did good for me. They covered, but I
They
wish they
could
would
have
have won the
won
damn
that
game.
game.
Get away.
I think that last series before, when they was playing for the field goal to go ahead, got them.
Got conservative.
Yep, they got conservative down in there, and then they come out there to bring my man out. Then they had the penalty, pushed him back 5 yards, and then they just said, "Forget it, kick it on third down." Then it went to the overtime, and they end up losing.
So they had a young cool cousin kicking the ball down there.
Yeah, but I was like, "Yeah, y'all blew this game. Y'all got conservative on that last one instead of going there trying to score a touchdown." They were run, trying to set up for the dang on field goal, and he missed it.
They had to lead most of that game too.
Well, yeah, they came out pumping. Georgia walked them down.
All right, let's go to the pros. Monday night game. We got Detroit traveling to Baltimore.
Last time Detroit traveled to Baltimore, I was in Baltimore, and they ran them out of the damn stadium.
It got ugly early. I think it was 21-0 by the time the first quarter was over. So what do you see for this week?
I got
For my
flashbacks of that. Yeah, the way Ravens. Yeah, we need to see what Detroit team's gonna show up. I mean,
Yeah.
first week was dismal. Second week, yeah, they didn't ran it up on Ben in Chicago. But now let's see when you got, Lamar and the crew coming in, what you gonna do?
The point spread is 5.5. The Lions are getting 5.5 points. It, it comes down to the defense for me because the offense I think speaks for itself. But I watch these other games and I watch teams blitz, and when these teams blitz, they occasionally get to the quarterback. I have yet to see a Lions blitz result in a sack. The defense played decent this past Sunday, but again, it was against the Bears. It got a scare out of Hutchinson's getting his leg bent up the way it did. But he's good to go.
Yeah, but he ain't even 100% yet.
No, the guy's leg snapped.
Right,
Uh,
and getting back in there too. Swift was gouging yards,
yeah,
big yards, and now you gonna got Henry and you got Lamar. No, this ain't looking good for the whole.
and Lamar's got some adequate wide receivers.
Yeah, even though
And Terry,
the Ravens is not my favorite team,
oh yeah,
for
oh yeah, that's right.
entertainment purposes only,
Would you go for a big time?
that ain't my
Andre's,
favorite team.
Andre's picture of you sitting there with your arms folded, like what the hell? Oh, we gotta bring that picture up in the future episode. The picture of a guy that's pissed was what he told us. So
Man.
yeah. So this week's NFL picks, y'all. You want to go ahead and show what we
Yeah,
got?
let me share the screen here. Let's see. All right, where is it at? All right. All right. Can you see the screen?
Yep. I got it.
Alrighty, so we'll go through the picks on the time. Miami, Buffalo. We both picked Buffalo. And that's one of your best bets.
Yep.
Um, Atlanta, Carolina. We both got Atlanta. Green Bay at Cleveland. We both picked Green Bay. Houston at Jacksonville. We both picked the Jags. Cincy at Minnesota. You picked many. I picked the Bungles.
Okay.
Pittsburgh at New England. We both picked the Pats. Rams at Philly. We both picked Philly. That's one of my best bets. Jets at
Okay.
Bucks. We both picked Bucks. That's another one of your best bets. Indy, Tennessee. We both got Indy.
I'm
Ravens.
on the Indy wagon. I'm a believer now.
Well, I won't say I'm a believer, but I picked them. Um, Raiders at Washington. I took the Raiders. You took Washington. Broncos, Chargers. I picked the Chargers. That's one of my best bets. Saints, Seahawks. We both took the Seahawks. Cowboy Bears. We both took the Cowboys. Arizona, San Francisco. We both took the Cards. KC at the Giants. We both took KC, and then Baltimore and Detroit. We both took the Ravens, and that's my best bet.
You got a 3-game lead overall, and we're locked in the top of our best bets. So we ain't building no casinos, but we're
Yeah, we're not Sam. We're not Sam Rothstein.
that's right. Well, good luck. Good luck to you.
Good luck to you.
Luck. All right, thanks for bringing it up, and I'll keep track and update it for next week. Then, all right.
Okay.
All right, let's go to our topic of interest. It's still centered around what we talked about at the outset of the show with free speech regarding the fallout from the Charlie Kirk assassination. The shooter has been apprehended after being on the lam for a few hours. Your thoughts as far as, do you believe what you're hearing, what you're reading? As far as his motive and him being a lone wolf, I'll let you go first with what you think about it. I got a couple thoughts myself. So what do you think?
I think anything is probable. It seems to be from what they're saying, this lone wolf kind of thing that hey, he didn't like what he called hate. So he took matters in his own hands, which he shouldn't have done, and assassinated Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Like so many of these other things, it's really no rhyme or reason. It just gets down to that's what he wanted to do. Um, the way that this now is making Kirk the martyr and that kind of stuff. Yeah, one could go out on a limb and say, hey, is this something bigger? I mean, is this the 9/11 effect that's happening from this assassination that they're going to try to ride till they can't ride it no more? Yes, but it's just so hard to say what's going on that you don't know. So on face value, it seems to be the lone shooter. Yep. Put
Yeah.
this out here, he got there too. So everything is neatly wrapped in bold that this was a Lone Ranger event.
Yeah. And that was my original thought when this went down. And the pictures were made readily available. We're in a day and age where you got cameras everywhere. So you could get your picture taken for a speeding ticket. So anything's possible as far as tracking people. But you just seeing the story of how the rifle, uh, you saw the video of him allegedly being on the roof and coming off the roof, but this rifle is 30-06. It ain't fitting in a backpack. So the question is, how did it get from the roof to the woods after he done jumped off the roof. So again, this is just based off of what I'm reading and what I'm seeing. Um, I think it's a little bit deeper than what we're being told on the surface. It could be another distraction away from the files being released. Um, it's almost as if was he a sacrificial lamb? Kirk and was he sacrificial? But was this guy sacrificial also? It's just you know the conspiracy theorists is just running
Oh,
rampant.
yeah,
But
because anything is possible. And again, that is not my signature on that birthday note, by the way.
that's right. Wasn't me.
So
That's
it
it's Ronald
it ain't nothing,
Ronald Rump.
ain't nothing new released. The girl
It's
told you
Ronald. Yeah, it's
I've
Ronald
been a
Rump.
perfect gentleman. Ain't nothing to release. But
That's right.
yeah, anything is possible when you're right. How will those questions get answered if he immediately jumped off of the roof and ran? Who
Yeah.
moved the gun? That's a good question. So, like you say,
Yeah.
these things are so fluid and complicated. And again, too, this is what you want me to believe. This is what happened, and that everything that too. We still haven't heard much about the guy that had the assassination attempt. He shot the ear. It has no scar or nothing on it. So,
Well,
is it? It could be.
well,
It's
that was
sad to say, but it just could be. I don't know, but it's sad to say that, yeah, it is
yeah.
possible.
I mean, the guy that they arrested originally at the Kirk shooting allegedly says that he told the police that he was a shooter so that the real shooter could get away. Now, again, it's what you're being told in the media. It's what you're reading. Why would he do that? Is he part of the whole circus that's going on? Who knows? But it's out there for, I guess, for people like me to interpret and make the decision. Is it real or is it fake or is it Memorex going back to the old commercial in the 80s?
Yeah. Is it real? Is it memory? So, no, and you don't know. And depending on how they, cover the story, you may never know because all of, it's more on who he was. And like you say, you don't talk bad about him. It's more going in that direction than trying to answer all these other questions that, is suspect.
Yeah, well, there'll be a lot more coming out. We're not even a year in, my brother. We got, you know, three years and a little bit over 3 months
Yeah.
to go through this. So anyway, that wraps up our topic of interest. We got a couple of segments left. They both belong to you with the jam of the week and then the we said message to bring us home for this episode 21. So what you got for us?
Came up with this one from Prince called Adore, 1987 from the Sign of the Times album, Prince and Adore.
So is he Prince then or is Simple?
He was Prince.
Until the end of time, I'll be there for you. You own my heart and mind. I truly adore you.
Hell of an artist.
Yeah.
One day struck me blind. Your beauty,
Beauty got still.
Love's too weak to define just what you mean to me. From the first moment I saw you, ooh, I knew you were the one. That night I had to was rapping till the
One on
sun
game.
came up. Telling you just all fine you look. In a word, you were sex. All of my cool attitude you took. My body was next. You made love to me. Like you were afraid. Was you afraid of me? Was I the first? Was I your everything?
That's my jam of the week. Adore by Prince, 1987, Sign of the Times album.
When we be
Time-
making
Perfect time.
Yes, the We Said message of the week was based off of the Prince song Sign of the Times, with the issues that we talked about today. Sign of the times mean for you to be aware of your surroundings, be aware that we don't know how much time we got left. So be aware to tell the ones that you love them. Just be aware of what's going around. And that's it for El Jefe. This is the Pope. We thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channels. Until then, peace.